Hello again, and thank you for joining me for Scots United, where me and my team of Scots, who are also me, bring you the latest in TV and movie news, with occasional dashes of pop culture. Are the Emmys pop culture? I guess they are. They're also obviously very much about TV, but some pop culture mixes in. I used to think of the Emmys as sort of like middle school student council elections. The popular people only win. Sometimes not good choices are made, but what are you going to do about it? And it just ends up being disappointing. Not that I ever ran for student council, but still. However, in the last few years, the Emmys have become more and more surprising, more dynamic. Think about a couple years ago when Tatiana Maslany won Best Actress in a Drama for Orphan Black. Crazy! I mean, yes, she was playing like 6 parts, 8 parts, however many parts she plays in that show. But still, the niche shows and those characters that go with them, those amazing performances that years ago would have been overlooked over someone that's won a million times, those people are starting to win more and more. That gets me excited. That makes me want to watch. But before we get to our Emmy coverage, to wrap up some more analysis from the last 2 episodes, let's go to a new segment called Trailer Triumph, where we bring you a movie or television trailer that's exciting, that's great, that has some great people in it, that gets us thinking. And to bring you that, let's go to Scott. Thanks, Scott. So I'm here to talk to you about The Favourite, with a U, the British spelling. It's the newest film from Yorgos Lanthimos, who is a Greek director who made The Lobster, which was on my top 10 list 2 years ago. Dark, complex, strange, very dense at times, but with a lot of meaning and a lot of humor, and I think this is an interesting follow-up after he did The Killing of a Sacred Deer, I believe, last year. We have Olivia Colman, who's going to be Queen Elizabeth in Season 3 of The Crown. We have Rachel Weisz. We have Emma Stone. Give me 3 strong, complex, interesting female leads any day in a film, and I am there. So let's take a look.
Dearest Queen, you are mad. Giving me a palace. It is a monstrous extravagance, Mrs. Morley. We are at war.
We won!
Oh, it is not over. We must continue.
Oh, I did not know that.
The Queen is an extraordinary person.
They were all staring, weren't they? I can tell even if I can't see, and I heard the word fat, and ugly.
No one but me would dare, and I did not. She's been stalked by tragedy.
Everyone leaves me. Dies.
I apologize for my appearance. I hoped I might be employed here by you. As something.
A monster for the children to play with, perhaps.
It is important to make new friends in court, is it not?
You're so beautiful.
Stop it, don't you mock me.
If I were a man, I would ravish you.
You have become close to Abigail. She is a viper.
You're jealous.
You must send Abigail away.
I do not want to.
Let's shoot something. Sometimes it is hard to remember whether you have loaded the pellet or not.
I must take control of my circumstance.
Hurrah!
I'm on my side. Always.
Favour is a breeze that shifts direction all the time. Then, in an instant, you're back sleeping with a bunch of scabrous whores.
As it turns out, I'm capable of much unpleasantness.
Did you just look at me? Look at me! How dare you! Close your eyes!
I could not just stand by and let you destroy me. You are enjoying all of this, aren't you?
Oh, it is fun to be queen sometimes.
If you do not go, I will start kicking you. And I will not stop.
My dear friend, how good to see you've returned from
Hell. I'm sure you shall pass through it one day.
So, the humor alone gets me. Setting, the time. Olivia Colman already won an award at the Venice Film Festival, I believe, for her portrayal of Queen Anne in this. I think this is one to watch, and I'm really excited for it. So I hope you are too. And now back to Scott. So, the Emmys are tomorrow. We talked about Best Drama. We talked about Best Comedy. Let's talk about some of the other categories sort of in play. We've already touched upon some performances, but nonetheless. How about now the reality shows? They pretty much covered in the smaller Schlubby Emmy episode they did a week ago, where they kind of cover all the technical stuff. You know, the stuff that they still do on the Oscar telecast, but they no longer do on the Emmy telecast because there's too many Emmys to give out. So reality's pretty much covered. RuPaul won his third host Emmy in a row for RuPaul's Drag Race. Will RuPaul's Drag Race win Best Competition Reality Show? Probably not. But I would be amazed and thrilled if it did, because it is the best show in that category. You know, could it be Top Chef? Could it be American Ninja Warrior? Probably not. It seems like it's always The Amazing Race or The Voice. And if you love those shows, great. I would just like to be surprised. The assassination of Gianni Versace, slated to take home several wins, probably. Will Darren Criss win Best Lead Actor in a miniseries for that like fierce, incredible portrayal of Andrew Cunanan? Probably. And I think he deserves it. I started with that show, but did not finish it. I was seeing someone, we were watching it together, things didn't work out, and you know how that is. It's just like, I want to watch this, but I don't, because it just, no. Best Supporting Actress in a Drama. This is anyone's. It could be Ann Dowd, she won last year, they love giving it, they love repeating winners for some reason, but they do. I'm of the mind, give it to someone new, but, you know, what do I know? It could be Alexis Bledel, who won Best Guest Actress last year. She could repeat. It could be Yvonne Strahovski, who, for my money, despite a somewhat uneven season on The Handmaid's Tale, I would give it to her. But you got other, greats. Tandy Newton, who I love. Tandy Newton, Flirting, Australian film, her debut. Go way back, find that. She's been great. I have followed her ever since I saw that movie decades ago. I feel like she's never been as big of a star as she should be, and she does amazing work on Westworld. Speaking of people who this is their last shot, of course, Matthew Rhys and Kerry Russell from The Americans, who I love, who I'd love to send them home with his and her Emmys. But, you know, Matthew Rhys has got to fight back Sterling K. Brown, who everybody loves, and everybody loves This Is Us, so he might take it again. Similarly, you know, Claire Foy, again, last year she can win for The Crown. And then there's Sandra Oh, who was amazing in Killing Eve. If you have not checked out Killing Eve on BBC America, watch Killing Eve. Do it now. I'll wait. Come back and finish this later. But that show didn't get a lot of other nominations. Sometimes that's an indicator that it's not going to happen. And yet you still have like Elizabeth Moss, who is the anchor of The Handmaid's Tale, who won last year. They might want to give her another Emmy. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Needless to say, I will be watching. Okay, so thank you. That's our episode for today. You know, look for The Favorite coming soon to a smaller independent theater near you. I hope you watch the Emmys, or at least get the coverage of what's going on. Next week, we'll talk a little bit about who some of the winners are, and bring you maybe another smattering of Oscars Say What, or who knows, a new segment. We'll surprise you. So I hope you join us again. Share, subscribe, and I'll see you again next week.